I don't know if I could see you as like an economics person. You'd be like, no, if you look at these quarterly finals, you suck, and you got to go back and fix it. Like you.
That is the stuff I started. I enjoy it. Yeah, I enjoy it for some
Cool.
reason. So I don't know why.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Just Another Castle podcast. Eli is gone and doing whatever the heck he does this week. But with me, we have Mike.
What up, bruh?
You. And we have our special guest, ZaneTheWise, also known as Zach.
Howdy.
All right, so the first thing we usually get to is what we've been playing this week. Have any of you guys played Super Mario Maker yet?
Hell yeah, that game's amazing.
No, I haven't yet.
Not yet. So,
Shame.
Mike, what do you think of it so far?
Oh, I love it, dude. I picked it up on the first day, like last week when it came out, and I mean that time I only tampered with it, so I was just playing around with just new Super Mario Brothers and regular Mario Brothers. Like, look, I ain't a creator, all right. I can barely tie my own shoes, all right. So I'm not gonna make any good levels.
And you're supposed to handle people's finances? What are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a math whiz, but I can't, do that. But so like I've been playing around like a lot of the community levels and stuff, and I recently ran through the expert mode, the normal mode, and the regular mode, which they let you play other people's creations and stuff.
Yeah.
But I have to say, a lot of levels are really well done. I don't like those troll levels where there's traps in them, or they're like just completely unfinishable. I'm like, dude, that's not fun, you know. But I love those really challenging levels. I'm like, wow, this is cool. Like, I'll get addicted to it. The one thing that does bother me is you're not allowed to drill jump on the saw, and like you can in Super Mario World, the regular one, but you can't do that in this game. The other problem I have with the game, when you drill jump in Super Mario World and you hit L or R, and you do a spin jump.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you should be able to jump on thwomps and saws in Super Mario World, but in this game, if you do that, you die. So I'm like, all right, but that's just a little tidbit. But my real problems are the coding with power-ups. All right, we all know in all Super Mario Brothers games, if you have a mushroom in your normal size Mario, the next question block that's a power-up question block will automatically be the next upgrade.
Yeah.
But in Super Mario World, it's coded that it's always a mushroom block if you made a mushroom block, you know?
Yeah. That's the one.
So I don't like that. Like, it's like, okay, so I have to leave a fire flower block somewhere because there's always going to be a fire flower one. Like, like obviously they can't put like their straight up coding of like it always being an upgraded item, but it's like, hey, I'm already Big Mario and I can go halfway through somebody's created level and it'll be another mushroom block, even though it shouldn't be because that's not how like regular Mario games work and stuff. But there's that, and then I really like the Super Mario World Bowser sprite they created for the game. I think that's like the best thing. I freaking love it. And I'm not a big fan of the amiibo things. Like, they don't do anything. You're just an 8-bit version of that character. Like, whoop-de-doo, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I got Mewtwo. It didn't do anything. It's not like I could like shoot a shadow ball or something.
That would be cool. Yeah, the
like,
Super Mario World sprite's really nice looking.
Like, I like the noises, they gave you, oh, cool, I could play as those characters, but it's like, I'd rather have a fire flower.
Yeah. I still like some of the other ones, like Sonic has his, I think, jump sound effects and his death sound effects, and like
Mega Man has that. And
yeah.
They also have the same, and Sonic, he has the Sonic 1 sound jump, but when you beat a level, it's the Sonic 3, it's the Sonic 3 theme song.
Huh. Yeah, I like how they added that. Unfortunately, with Pokemon, they didn't really do anything. They just have like this weird twangy noise for the taunt. They kind of just use for a lot of them. But it's still cool that they have little homages to all these characters.
I think, I think it's important to have these little mods. It makes also make you feel like your amiibos aren't useless. But
yeah.
I actually have not used the 8-bit Mario amiibo. I have it bought and it looks amazing, but I didn't use it on the game yet. So.
It is. It's pretty cool. It's really thick, actually. Like you can tell it's made of plastic, but when you hold it, you're like, wow, this thing could take it. Like you could throw it at, I don't know, some hard object, and it would. Yeah, it wouldn't dent. It would probably dent it and still be intact. Like it's pretty thick.
Yeah, so I mean, like I haven't used it in the game thing, but I love the design of it. Like, dude, it looks awesome. Like, I'm like super happy I bought that one.
Yeah, it's one of the coolest amiibo.
I heard though, I don't like what they're doing for the Super Mario World, the modern Mario one. You have to buy the system. Like, it only comes in the bundle right now because I really wanted that one more than the classic look. But
That's lame. Yeah.
yeah, but they might sell it like later on. But right now, that's the only thing that's upsetting me. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, it will lose its exclusivity by October 1st, it says. From a Walmart retailer.
Well, that's
listing.
a relief.
So, yeah, you'll be able to get
October,
it.
it'll be in retailers?
Yeah.
Because it looks so much better than the classic one. Like, oh, it looks so good, dude.
That's weird. I actually like the classic one better because it's like, this is how he was made. I don't want this new costume they just threw on top of him. That's not what he looked like. I will say,
I never liked that tannish Mario look. Like, dude, it just looks so good. They both look amazingly cool. So
yeah.
It's so.
I will say I do sympathize with the people who hated the 9-day time limit at first, because my understanding was, like they'll give you a set and then maybe give you a tutorial level of how to create a level with it or some sort of tips. And then you would get used to it for that day and then move on. But they don't. They're just kind of like, here's a level that uses it. Here's a couple of items. That's pretty much it. And when you start off, you only have like a couple of blocks and enemies, so it's really limited. So I kind of take back what I said about people being like cheesed off for nothing. Like, once I found out I had so limited tools, I'm like, okay, I gotta grind to get all these things because I want to. Just to make my basic level, I needed like a warp pipe. Like, well, this kind of blows.
9 days is a little long for that.
Yeah, well, they did update it so it would only... You could unlock them like every 15 minutes or so. I felt it kind of took longer than that, but it's still better. I do like the art book is really cool, and they actually have little codes in it, so you can unlock. I guess I haven't actually used it, but they have codes on like a couple of pages demonstrating pieces of levels, and I guess you can unlock a level with that, which is kind of neat. And it goes through like how they created it with graph paper and whatnot, which is really cool. And I actually made a stage. I remade Heatman's stage from Mega Man 2 because I hate myself. It was one of the hardest. No, it was the hardest stage in Mega Man 2 for me, and I'm like, it would be cool if I remade this thing that I hated so much, and then I have to force myself to play it, because you have to beat it to upload it. So I took like an image of the map and went like brick by brick to rebuild it. It was pretty fun.
But, yeah, I do like when people are also remaking levels. Like I played Windman stage. I played, I think, Wily Castle 2-1
nice.
or something like that. Like I think like I appreciate that. And some guy, one of the guys that like you gave me a level when I was streaming it. He actually made like an ode to Super Mario. So he actually made all the Super Mario Brothers. Like he made World 1-1. Then you went through a warp pipe, and you did the first level of Super Mario Brothers 2. Then he redid Super Mario Brothers 3, all in that kind of style thing. It was really cool. I was like, all right, that's awesome. You know, like people giving like odes to other games and everything. So
yeah. When I see the styles, I'm like, I might want to play New Super Mario Bros, but I kind of don't want to play anything unless it's Super Mario Bros. Or Super Mario World. I don't know, just that game is special, and I'm like, this one has the best art style. Now I actually want to play these levels. Make them all in Mario World.
Yeah, I hear you, man. But this game is really, it's super good. I knew some people were downing it, but it's fun. You know, it's great, and it's like its own way. Like people should get this kind of game, even if you don't make levels, or if like you just enjoy Mario games, just play it, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, and it'll get better over time as people start to learn the tools better and whatnot. So it's kind of like Splatoon, where you just gotta wait a little bit for it to really get its value put into it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You're gonna say
that's
something?
what I'm waiting for. Got to pick it up.
Yeah. The other thing I played was Shovel Knight, their new DLC, Plague Knight. It's been a while since I played Shovel Knight, so I kind of forgot how he controlled in comparison. But Plague Knight he's pretty cool, actually. It takes a bit of getting used to because he has 2 jumps, but they're pretty small, so it's kind of hard to get anywhere. And then you actually have to charge to get a third jump, which is where you actually get some height. So that you kind of have to get used to of how to time it properly so you don't, jump into a pit and kill yourself before you jump again. And then you can also toss bombs. So the main thing is he tosses bombs for attacks. And when you jump in the air and throw bombs, you'll actually sit in the air a little bit. So if you think you're going to fall and die, you can like chuck a couple of bombs and then you'll stay in the air and then like move over and get a couple of more pixels so you can try not to fall in a pit. But you can also like customize all the bombs. So like Shovel Knight, he has upgrades. Whether you want like the bombs to blow up quicker or wait a while, or if you want them to combine to make a bigger explosion, or when you do your charge jump, if it shoots, an explosion forward and all this stuff. So it's really cool in a different way of changing up Shovel Knight that I think even if you just played Shovel Knight not too long ago, it'll be different for you. I mean, the stages are largely the same, but the way you control is so much different. So,
and it's free.
Yeah, it's free.
It's just amazing. Those guys are great.
Yeah, no, I'm really liking it so far. I think I'm like halfway through now. But have you guys played Plague Knight?
I haven't gotten to Plague Knight. No, I have to finish beating Shovel Knight, but it's fun. But
you can actually use a code to skip to Plague Knight if you actually want to.
Is it a Konami code or something similar?
Something like that. I forget it. They put it out there, but it's weird because I beat Shovel Knight and then it's like you can't open Plague Knight. I'm like, what? What, do I have to start a new game plus or something? I'm like, whatever. I'll just use the code.
That works.
It'll be interesting to see what the other knights play like, because they said they were going to do 3 playable bosses. The first being Plague Knight, and then one of them is going to be King Knight, and then the other one is yet to be determined. So that'll be pretty cool once they eventually release all of that.
I still haven't got Shovel Knight, but I've heard that, like, you have to beat the game to get him. But still, yeah. I do appreciate that they give out like new stuff and like what do you call it? Like they gave out a whole new mode. I think that's pretty cool, to be honest.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean,
if I ever do get Shovel Knight, is he for every version of Shovel Knight, or is he
Plague Knight? Yeah, it's free for everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, the Kickstarter, it was a stretch goal on the Kickstarter. So all the rest of their content they're making is going to be free, minus the amiibo content.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you going to get it now that it's physical? Like when it comes out?
Oh yeah, now, most of the time when it's physical. Like I lean towards it because now I'll go in the store and I'll be like, oh, okay. Like, there it is.
Yeah.
Like, now I can physically hold this. And besides, with I don't want to spoil any news, but yeah, with spoiled news and less stuff coming out, it moved higher on my list.
Yeah, there's definitely room there. Mike, was there anything else you played recently?
I played Sound and Shapes on the Vita. It was I think it was free for last month on PS Plus.
Cool.
I want to get the Super Time Force Ultra, but I'm like 3 trophies away from platinuming it. It's a pretty cool game. I mean, I don't know. I think maybe the guy who did like the Ho Ho Come music it was in it. But what I was gonna say was like I enjoyed it. It was a really short campaign kind of thing, and it was. I mean, it's an alright game. It's a simple platformer, but I mean, for getting it for free, I can't complain like that. So
yeah.
Do I like it? Is it my favorite PS Plus game? Nah, probably not. Like, I think that still goes to Velocity 2X. But yeah, man, that Velocity 2X is so good. Oof. But yeah, I mean, I would recommend it. I think the soundtracks on it are pretty cool, and I like how like I love when you're like interacting with music in the background kind of thing. Like I love those kind of games. I think they're really unique and like artistic. So,
yeah. So
super clever.
So, are you interested in Persona 4 Dancing All Night?
Oh hell yeah! I'm getting Persona Dancing All Night. I mean, come on, dude. I think I have that pre-ordered, man. The Ultimate Edition.
What the heck comes in the Ultimate Edition?
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, actually. I was going to actually check out my cart, because I know Dragon Ball Z Buddha 10 2 or whatever is coming out soon, so I had to recheck up on my cart, make sure I had that. Because if you have it pre-ordered, they send you a Super Nintendo cartridge of that game. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, yes, I definitely want to play it on my Super Nintendo. All right, let's see. What do we got? Where's my
Does it just look like a Super Nintendo cartridge, or does it actually play on a Super Nintendo?
No, it plays on the Super Nintendo. You get it.
Wow.
Yeah. It comes like in the old box and everything. All right, so in the Persona 4 Dancing All Night Disco Fever Edition, you get a pouch, 2-disc soundtrack, all the DLC, a keychain, Vita wall skins. All right, man. Like, whew. That's the see. I'm going all deep for P4D, man.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, they delayed Persona 5, but they came out with like a new trailer, I think, right? So.
Yeah, they did the third PV, but it's really cool. I mean, it got delayed anyway, so like, whatever. But at the same time, it's cool. It's cool. It's gonna be a good game. I'd rather have games delayed.
Yeah. So, Zach, have you been playing anything recently?
Oh yeah. Let me see. I was playing Grow Home, the free PSN game for PlayStation 4 last month, I think.
Yeah.
That game is weird. I really like it though. You're just climbing all over the surface of objects, collecting gems, and making things grow. It is a really weird game.
It's the essence of Ubisoft climbing.
Yeah, pretty much. There's no towers to climb per se, to unlock portions of the map, but
they should just make a Jack and the Beanstalk game for crying out loud. Well, I guess that's what it is anyway.
I will buy it. I will play it.
It does look pretty cool though.
Yeah, there's something addicting about. I mean, it's not a whole lot changes. There's just clumps of ground and gems and growing vine things, but there's something addictive about collecting enough gems to grow higher, and then you fall forever if you fall off. So that's always good.
Is that all of what you've played?
Most recently, no. I've been messing around. I was trying to get through some of my PS4 backlog. Last holiday season, I got a bunch of games cheap, and I just never played them. So I was gonna play that Lord of the Rings game, Shadow of Mordor.
Oh, nice.
And Dying Light. I don't usually like zombie games, but I really like Dying Light. Again, I guess it's climbing all over things, but fake parkouring, so you don't die. That's always good.
So are you interested in Mirror's Edge 2 then?
Yes. I kind of like the first Mirror's Edge. Like, I thought the mechanics were good, but I was like, if only this were open world. And they're like, oh, Mirror's Edge 2, it's going to be open world. I was like, yes, I'm in. I will buy that.
It looks pretty cool. First game was decent. All right, so let's move on to some Amiibo nodes. It's pretty quick. The modern 8-bit Mario and Shovel Knight are up for pre-order on Nintendo UK. So Nintendo's not actually making the Shovel Knight Amiibo, and as far as America goes, they're not supplying it, but I guess UK is like, whatever, we'll get on this bandwagon. So I don't know what's up with that. UK is getting all the stuff apparently. And then, like we said, the modern Mario is going to be done its exclusive run on October 1st, or at least that's when the license with Walmart finishes up. And then Mega Man Legacy Collection on 3DS is actually going to have 10 player made challenges through the Mega Man Amiibo. So, yeah, one of the few 3DS games that'll use it. So that'd be neat. A couple of things were announced. So GameStop isn't going to sell console bundles with digital game codes in them now, presumably because people can't trade in the games, and that's like a huge part of their market. So I guess
that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess they're just trying to fight back and be like, we're not going to do it. Make us, and then every other place will store those, and then they'll lose money anyway. So I don't really see the benefit for them in doing that, but whatever. Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival has a bundle. It comes with the Isabelle and Digby Amiibo, and then 3 special Amiibo cards. I think it was only 1 Amiibo before, but now I guess they tossed another one in. If anyone's even interested in that game, it looks kind of, And Pokken Tournament is finally confirmed to come to Dave & Buster's in Times Square next week. So, Mike, would you be interested in actually going to play it?
Yeah, I wanted the game anyway, but it's only in the Manhattan Dave and Buster's, right?
Huh? Mm, I have no idea. It just says, well, it says Times Square.
Yeah, yeah. See, do I want to go out to Times Square
How far is it
and
from
be?
you?
It's like a train ride away from me, and then I can walk. It's only like a 35-minute train ride, but
Oh,
still,
okay.
still. But what I was gonna say was, yeah. I mean, I probably will be free. Like, it would be cool to go, but I could also wait on it. You know, I wouldn't be like, oh man, I missed it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
kinda.
I was just interested if that was like an event you'd go to, because you've gone to a couple events with like Nintendo World Store and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah. So we got all this stuff there. So it's like more than likely, like it'll probably be out like it'll be early in Nintendo World Store or something like that. It'll sneak here in New York. So
Yeah, I'm sure. All right, so now into the big news of this week is Nintendo finally announced a new CEO. It's someone we've never heard of before from the backline called Tatsumi Kimishima. Basically, he worked at a bank for 27 years and did a lot of back-end stuff. He was the president of Nintendo of America for a little bit and Pokemon America. And he had some special credits in some games. I don't know what he actually did. It just says special thanks, so he probably just like looked at the game and whatnot. But yeah, they finally announced a new CEO, but a lot of people are thinking this isn't going to last a long time. For one reason, Nintendo was looking for, young blood, but they had to settle on this guy because it was, I guess, all they could find at the moment. He's only been elected for a year, so it doesn't really seem too final. And he's also older than Iwata. He's 65 years old now, which is almost a decade older than Iwata, and he could retire, so that's not really a good plan for a future of a company. Like, here's a big new CEO. He could actually retire tomorrow if he wanted. So, yeah, people are thinking this is just going to be... He's probably just going to be temporary for a year before they can announce, like, a full CEO to replace.
Yeah, it sounds like he's totally aware of that too, and totally on board with that. I forget where it was, but I was reading a summary of an interview with him, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm elected for 1 year," and he was talking about other people they might go to after him. So it doesn't sound like he's too invested in holding that position.
No, not at all. He even said, like, I don't care if they could have like outsiders of the company lead this. So he pretty much is treating it like, yeah, I got this 1 year, we'll see how it goes, but I don't expect much out of it.
It sounds like they just needed somebody to step up. So
yeah, they need someone to run the business. So that makes me wonder. I wonder who's actually going to be the new CEO when they actually reveal it. I guess.
Did you hear the rumors about...
I bet they're looking internally right now, kind of thing. So
yeah, for sure. Where are you going to see, Zach?
There was a rumor about hiring the level 5 president, the guy who founded it.
Really?
Yeah, or at least that they were looking at him, or he was in the running. So I don't know how that would go. But
weird.
That'd be interesting. Like, I wonder if they just straight up hire him, or would that signal some sort of closer relationship between the two companies, or what? But yeah.
That would be really interesting, because I wouldn't expect Nintendo to hire someone outside of Japan to run their company. Mm-hmm. Like, I know they said they wanted someone younger, but that'd be really interesting to see that.
Yeah, I mean, Iwata was technically from a different company, but not really. He was deep Nintendo, so
yeah. Well, he worked his way up, but he was still at least of Japanese origin. So
level 5's Japanese, right?
Oh, right. I think they are. Yeah, they make the Professor Layton games. Yeah,
and Professor Layton. Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking Factor 5 because I was watching whatchamacallit, Unseen 64 did a thing on Kid
yeah,
Icarus today. So I just thought of 5 and I was thinking of them. I'm like, really? They're gonna hire like American people?
Yeah, just bring in Julian Egberg.
Yeah,
just grab him.
Yeah, even some other people were saying in the company like they need to make a future-proof leadership system. So maybe they'll have like a CEO, but they'll have like a board. Well, I'm pretty sure they already have a board anyway, but I guess they want more people to have input or something. And they also did some restructuring and renamed Miyamoto and Genyo Takeda as Creative Fellow and Technology Fellow for no reason. I know they're just like, let's be more friendly about their titles for no reason.
You know what the thing is though? I was wondering, like, it's a really important position. So why wouldn't you want like a more business-directed guy in that, for the president? Like, you get what I mean? Like, that's why you can't have like you can't plug in like Miyamoto in that spot or whatever. It's not like, hey. So I think like, in my opinion, like they should look. They should look internally. But right now, like that position, it might not have no. It has more face than value right now because Nintendo already knows what plan they're going in.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they're in a flux. So I wouldn't stress too much on who's going to be the next one. They hire the right guys all the time, so I wouldn't
Yeah, don't worry about it too much.
Unless they pull like a 360 and like they hire like Phil Spencer from Xbox. Like the hell, Okay.
That would be weird. Well, he has been saying nice things about Nintendo on Twitter lately.
Angling for the job.
Yeah, really.
You heard it here first.
He's like, I'll put Banjo in Smash Bros. Like, you can go for it if you give me a job. Like, oh gosh. Yeah, they also said Nintendo Directs will continue, which I don't think was too much of a question of if, but when. Because I think it's like if they're not going to do big speeches at E3, like they pretty much have to go with directs because it just gets more attention versus spitting out news, going here's this one thing, and then everyone has to like hears about it and then has to report on it and whatnot.
Man, that first Nintendo Direct without Iwata is going to be going to be sad.
Well, I wonder if they're just going to do what they did with some other directs where each one has its own region, so they'll just have Reggie and Bill and whatever other guys do it instead of like the new CEO, because I don't think he's actually going to be on it.
Yeah.
Like, I forget, I think it was IGN or some other podcast I was listening to where they're like, yeah, we only have literally one image of this guy at an event like from a decade ago. So I don't think he's really the face of the company.
Yeah. Sounds like he's just on board to keep Iwata's vision going till they find the next guy. But who knows?
Yeah. Just a stopgap. So the other big thing besides more patents is Star Fox Zero got delayed to Q1 of 2016. So they said they could, or Miyamoto was saying on Facebook they could release it this holiday, but they decided to delay it for to polish level design and cutscenes and make the 2-screen gameplay easier to understand. And yeah, so what do you guys think
I
of
was
this?
gonna ask Matt, my fault, because I had to step out for a second.
Oh, no problem.
What's Nintendo gonna do for November then? Like, what are they gonna do for the holidays?
Well, the thing is, people have been debating this, and it's like Star Fox has always been a niche game anyway, and with the Wii U sales, the only people that are buying Wii U games are the fans. So delaying it doesn't really affect their sales, I don't think, that drastically. Plus, they still have at least Xenoblade, which is like a big RPG to lean on, and then they have Amiibo Festival, which is like, whatever.
Like, even if it was still a niche game, it was still like a name brand gonna come out during the holiday, like
Sure.
like, and so like I feel like that was like somewhat important kind of thing for Nintendo in itself. Ouch! I had to take off this Band-Aid. Oh, that hurt. All right, but yeah, I mean Yoshi's Woolly World comes out, and then Triforce Heroes comes out. Those are both October though, and I'm like, All right, so what's Nintendo gonna like try to like reestablish Mario Maker and Smash as like, oh, let's resell them again this holiday? Like that's the big thing, or
Well,
you know?
maybe they'll push up Xenoblade because they did that a couple of years ago with Super Mario 3D World and Donkey Kong. They pushed Donkey Kong back and moved Mario up. So maybe they'll move Xenoblade up, possibly. I don't know.
That'd be nice. I've been waiting for that game since they showed it off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been a while ago. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it impacts them too much. Because the people who are already owning the Wii are the only ones pretty much going to buy it.
And
Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with that. Do you know why they're delaying it though? What was the reason behind it?
Yeah, they said they could release it, but they delayed it to polish up level design, cutscenes, and the two-screen gameplay.
it's kind of core to the game.
Well, I mean, as long as it's more akin to Star Fox 64 than anything, I'm fine with it.
What did you say, Zach?
It's just the
No, yeah, that's what
two-screen
I'm saying.
gameplay is kind of the main game hook, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of important to get that right. So I don't know. It's just I want to be excited about it, but the more I see about it, it's just like I'll play it someday. But I'm not. I mean, are you guys super excited about the Star Fox from what you've seen?
Oh hell yeah! I was actually a little bit disappointed they got delayed, but I'm definitely super excited for the game. Like, I mean, look, I'm not gonna say I'm a huge Star Fox fan. Like, I've played most of them, but it's like I don't know. This one seems like it was returning to its roots, and it looked amazing. So it's like, oh, I definitely want it. But I'm also really Nintendo biased. So I mean, even though I'm very, either I love it or hate it. But like, I was like, man, I want this game. Like Yoshi's Woolly World, I really want. Like, no one telling me that it's not in my age range. All right.
Yeah, I've never been crazy about Star Fox. I've played some of the games. I think I liked it more. Zero. I think it looked more interesting to me than maybe other people because I'm not so invested in the series. Like being able to transform and being able to beat the bosses in two different ways, or at least multiple ways, looks really cool. And kind of the other mini game things where it's like you deploy your Rob to collect a bunch of things. I don't know. I think that's kind of cool, but I'm more concerned about this two-screen oddball control that seems unnecessarily complicated for the sake of forcing new ideas when it doesn't belong. It just seems like he's trying to make it more complicated than it needs to be.
That's better. Yeah. The more complicated, the better. Right? That's how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, Kid Icarus turned out well. That was just me. A lot of people, I guess, hated Kid Icarus because of its controls, but I thought it was pretty great. So maybe there's a good reason for it.
If my hands weren't in constant pain trying to figure out.
There was.
I was like, I tried lying down, sitting up, standing up. I was like, it's impossible. Then I finally used the stand that the game came with, and I was like, this is the only way to play this game because this is impossible. Then some people were like, yeah, just play it, standing up. I'm like, demon, all right? Like you have a third hand or something, like.
Yeah, I really like Kid Icarus. I thought the controls were fine for me personally, but I don't know. I don't like moving the game pad to aim. Like that just seems really off. Any sort of motion control where you need like a precise control, like I don't like it.
Including for what do you call it?
Splatoon.
Inklings. Thank you. Go.
Yeah, no, I tried that. Maybe I was being unfair because I didn't try it enough, but I tried it for like 30 seconds. I'm like, nope, just no. Give me the control stick. I think that one is weird though because they lock which way you can move the gamepad. Like you can only move it, I think, left and right, and then you have to use the other stick to aim up and down, which is really awkward. Like just use it in all axes, but whatever. I don't know. Star Fox looks cool. It'll be nice when it comes out, but maybe this will help it. But I don't see how it can really help it all that much if they're only delaying it a few months, unless they delay it like longer than they're saying.
Yeah.
You know what, Matt? I was gonna ask. Do you think they missed an opportunity with the Wii U to?
Before you answer, yes.
To remake or make sequels of like really good DS games?
what DS games? Because they did at least Rainbow Curse, so that's one.
Maybe The World Ends with You.
But like Rainbow Curse, like I had a feeling they knew nobody would buy that game. Like, you know, they kind of set themselves up with that. But I'm talking about like, you know, if they made like The World Ends with You 2 or like something like Kirby's like Mass Attack or something. Like if they could have did that with the Wii U, and it would have been a lot like. I feel like they missed an opportunity at that, man. You know, like to make some cool DS games into like Wii U sequels or better.
Yeah, for all the touch-based controls, you mean?
Okay.
Yeah. Nintendo seems to have missed a lot of opportunities with the Wii U.
Yeah. Oh yeah, what's that thing? I don't get Pokemon Go. I don't get it. It's is it like? I mean, it's not as cool as the trailer, obviously, but like, what is it? Do I just have my phone and it just uses a camera and finds a Pokemon? Like, I don't get it.
So you know the AR games on the 3DS?
Yeah, I never played them. I saw my friend play the face one. So.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that. You walk around, and the wrist thing will like vibrate and glow the closer you are to a Pokemon, and then you can use your smartphone to like look through the screen to see the Pokemon, and then they just say you can battle, capture, and trade, and whatnot.
Will it work anywhere though, or is it like there's like Nintendo hotspots at like McDonald's and stuff?
That would be hilarious. Everyone go to McDonald's. There's a Mewtwo there.
Am I gonna see everyone at McDonald's? Like, you know, like I'm like, the hell, man. Like
I was waiting in line for a burger, and all these Pokemon douchebags.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I just wanted the double cheese and fries. Like, why is everyone here? All right.
Oh gosh, I don't know. It's pretty vague. I think it's supposed to be you can go anywhere, and they'll just put them somewhere on a map. My only concern is where, because if there's not a lot of open spaces, are they just going to have them on the sidewalk? Because that's going to be weird. Like, in a big city, it's like, where the heck are you going to put them? Are you going to make people drive a mile to this one patch of grass? Because that's the only area you can put them.
I'm more worried about people who are outside of a city. It's going to be like, in the middle of nowhere. Well, there's no Pokemon
like,
anywhere.
There's nothing out here. Nintendo lied to us. There's nothing out here.
Someone's gonna jump in someone's backyard.
Maybe I'll get it. I don't know. I don't know if it's my thing. I mean, seems kind of cool, I guess. It seems like more to get like the saps who think they love Pokemon, in my opinion. I'm just telling it like it is, man. That's it.
That's the way you do it. There's some other big news this week. One of them was another Nintendo patent, because their mascot is a plumber, and yet they have all these leaks just pouring in all over the place. They can't contain them, apparently. So one of them was they have this patent where they have clickable mouse wheel shoulder buttons. So I guess instead of the L and R buttons, it would actually be a mouse scroll wheel. So I don't know. They said you could scroll through like inventory screens and whatnot. Are you guys like for this, against this? Like, what do you think about it?
Oh, repeat that last sentence. You got like kind of low. Couldn't hear it.
Sorry. So they have a patent where they're going to replace the L and R buttons with mouse wheels.
Damn it! Either my phone blows or I just can't hear. It's probably that my phone blows, considering there's a crack halfway through my phone. So, Matt, you're gonna have to type it out, man. Or
yeah,
I'm gonna have to pass. All right, that's it. Double Jeopardy. I'm out, man. I didn't know.
Link me.
Yeah. All right. I typed it. Yeah, go Zach while he reads.
Yeah, it's weird. At first, I just couldn't. I mean, I could see the utility of it, but I couldn't see the real point. But the more I was reading through the patent, the more interesting it is. I'm wondering if just because you can scroll left, you can scroll right, and you can depress, if they're going to try to actually replace not just L1 and R1, but L1, R1, and L2 and R2. Because you can map a lot of the functions of like a trigger press or whatever to a scrolling wheel.
Yeah.
Especially with, I mean, this. I was reading through it. It's like.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, what?
I said sorry for the phone ringing.
Oh no, that's cool. Yeah, it's just language is super. I mean, I guess it's got to be really precise. What I thought was interesting is when IGN wrote it up, they're like, this could be the next the next Nintendo controller. But I mean, the patent actually specifically says this is a handheld. I mean, it goes on to say we can also use the scrolling wheels in a controller, but it's for a handheld. So I'm wondering if they're trying to avoid having the L1, R1, L2, R2 right next to each other and just combine them all into one.
Maybe.
So.
That's good to hear that it's for a handheld, because honestly, I think they should ditch the gamepad for the regular controller on the NX. Like, you're already going to have a handheld sync up to it that acts like a gamepad. We wouldn't need another. And they didn't really prove that it was worth making it in the first place, so I just want them to go like traditional in that sense, and then just if you want to play on the go, you can get the handheld.
Yeah.
I thought one of my ideas for the scroll wheel was, because it shows a single screen, if that let's assume it's a single screen for the sake of my argument, but maybe the scroll wheels are actually there to kind of replace to make up for the second screen that a handheld would have. So we dropped one screen, but we have these scroll wheels that you can cycle through like the other screen that would have been there, sort of thing.
Oh, that makes sense.
Possibly. The only thing I don't like about scroll wheels is that I wouldn't want them as an actual button, because your hand, or at least for me, like your fingers can slide on it, and if I want to push it down, it's not as I don't know, as intuitive as a regular button.
Yeah, it seems kind of complicated. Did you read that paragraph at the end? They have this long description of all the boring things it can do, and then they throw in this. Oh, we can also put a motor on there, and that's where all the interesting stuff comes in.
No, so why don't you tell us about that?
Well, you can start scrolling, and it can keep scrolling, having momentum, which is okay, obvious. But then they were like, oh, and if we back cycle it really quick, they can add like a tactile clicking feeling to it. And then what else was there? There's a bunch of stuff. I mean, if you add a motor in there, and if players aren't going to strip it out or destroy it right away, turning against it, I guess you could do a lot of stuff. They didn't mention it, but I was reading online. Somebody was like, "Oh, maybe you could be pulling a bowstring back, or pulling it over, and it gets harder to pull as you go." So I think with haptics, and again, that would help with the concern that while I'm trying to press the button, I'm swiping it left and right. If they have a motor on there, then maybe it'd be a little more stiff. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, because I know my mouse, it actually has a lock button on it, so you can scroll regularly, or you can push the button that makes it loose, so it'll flow all at once. So you can just push it, and it'll keep scrolling endlessly. So maybe they could have like a harder button where it's like, this will stay in place. You don't have to worry about it sliding on you. Which, if they have that, that's fine. I don't mind if they try to mess around with a handheld, because certain games won't work on that device anyway. So I'm fine with that. Just keep like the regular controller on the normal console. Especially with third parties, if you don't have, like, I think they have analog triggers instead of digital or something, so that doesn't that already screws them up. So if they change anything for that, then it's just going to put them backwards again.
Yeah.
But the sorry, go on.
Oh, no, I'm almost the total opposite. I just I guess I want it to make sense, but I love it. I love it that they push the boundaries. And I did like Microsoft did that too. They put like rumble triggers, and then Sony had the touchpad.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And they're not like essential innovations, but I think dual analog's okay, but I'm looking for the next thing. I'm looking for I'm really excited to try the Steam controller with the haptic touchpads.
Yeah.
Cuz that seems like something that could be a next step. So when people say, "Oh, I only want a standard regular controller, no gimmicks," it's like, even with these scrolling buttons, if they did have triggers as well, then it's not like their inclusion wouldn't hurt anything per se. I mean, for games that didn't use them, it'd just be So I like them to try new stuff.
Yeah. Maybe I should rephrase that. I don't mind them doing new things as long as it doesn't come to the detriment of I guess third-party support or something else. Like with the gamepad, it's like, okay, well now all these people aren't going to make it because they have to make some special second screen, like that sort of giant change.
For that, I mean,
as long as they have the basic things in there, that plus that, and I don't know, Nintendo hasn't really shown that they can support the ideas they come up with. They're like, look at all these cool things we could do, and then here's the 3 things we did do, and it's not as exciting. Like, they have better ideas than they have execution. So that's why I'm like, if it's gonna if it's gonna hurt your console to make this giant change, just don't, because you're better off not, because you haven't shown you can do it. But yeah, I don't mind if they do little things. With a handheld, I don't mind if they like go crazy with it, because like there's like first person shooters not really going to play on that anyway, and some I don't know, I'm more willing for them to go crazy with a handheld, because it's, I guess, a supplementary console. But the other crazy patent are these image sensors. So again, with a handheld, I'm pretty sure it was a handheld, it said, they have like these sensor bars on all 4 sides of the device. So when you lay it on the table, it can detect your fingers sliding across a desk to control, like it says, a character or a mouse. And you can touch it like on the system to zoom in and out and stuff, and read barcodes for Amiibo. And it can switch from portrait to landscape when it's rotated like the iPad. And it has detect user's pulse rate based on reflection and intensity of skin. So I guess if you grip the controller harder, it'll be like, okay, this person is really frustrated, let's make it harder or something. So I don't know, this is another weird patent. What are your guys' impressions of this?
Mike,
you there?
What's up, dude?
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. Like I said, my phone keeps going in and out because I don't know. I dropped it too many times. I'm due for my upgrade though. But yeah, I'm trying to hear it, but my fault, guys. It's blowing it today. I'm sorry. Repeat that though. I'm gonna put my ear all the way.
Here, I'll let Zach talk, and I'll just copy and paste the information.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I need. Right? Copy and pasta, baby. I'm all about that.
Copy pasta. All right, Zach. So, what are your impressions?
The sensor bar. This thing. That was when I looked at it. I was like, I cannot imagine what the benefit of putting these 4 things on here. That you could do most anything you can do with those with some, with a different, more standard technology.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just the giant touch screen in the middle, right?
Right. That's
like, we need 4 more touch screens.
Do you need to know with that high degree of accuracy that someone's gripping the sides? and like you said earlier, I guess Nintendo really does like to monitor your pulse. That's something they cannot let go of.
Yeah.
They're very excited about that.
Is this based on that thing that never came out in 2007, 2008 with the Wii Fit? What was it? Vitality thing?
Vitality sensor? No, it's something.
Yeah, you remember that? Is this like is the ideas based off what was supposed to be in there on that?
I think it's different technology.
Yeah,
same result.
But I mean, the thing right here I'm reading where it's like about the grip pressure, which sometimes I think I grip my controller hard sometimes, or what if like you grip normally at something that seems like you're frustrated and all that? Well, like. You know what I mean? Like, is it going to be basing it wrong? Because not everybody, holds it like a standard way, like those pictures, like, oh, do this with the controller, like this, that, and this. Like, wouldn't there be some sort of issues or like, you know what I mean? Like, isn't there a way to like get your own norm rather than what's a standard operating norm?
Yeah, it actually reads your pulse. It's not so much how hard you're gripping.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it uses infrared light.
That's cool then. Wow. Freaking Terminator, man. Freaking
cool and creepy.
This is going to like shoot a laser through our hands now. It's like always measuring it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I turn on a game, my blood is just pumping all the time, and it's just like, no, damn it. We're turning the game off on you. No, I'm really excited and happy to play. Done. Never turns on.
Do you remember on the Wii when you're playing Wii Sports and other every now and then be like, "You've been playing for a while. Why don't you set the controller down and go outside, you nerd?" Now it's gonna be like your heart's racing. You probably should stop playing. It's like, no.
How high's your cholesterol? You might have a heart attack. You should sit down.
I remember that all early Wii games used to do that. From when Wii Sports came out to like 07-ish, like up to Wii Play 08. It would just be like, why don't you just go take a break? I'm like, I can't take a break right now because there's no save points near me in the game I'm playing. Yeah. So you hop off, Nintendo. Okay. And then the next big thing after that was make sure you wear your wristband. It's like, no. Okay? And then it's like, don't forget to buy the rubber glove thing that goes around the Wii. And it's oh, batteries are dead, and you can never get the rubber glove off the Wiimote. All right? They did that on purpose.
I just don't see the benefit of this thing. Like, what's the main thing I can see is that you can use your finger to slide on a desk and like move something, but then I mean, you already have a touch screen, so I don't know. The only other thing is maybe it's cheaper technology to scan amiibos than an NFC chip, but I don't know. Then you wouldn't really need 4 of them.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, my question was, are they going to have to reprint amiibos, or do they already have those infrared markers built in?
I don't think. I know they have the NFC chip. I don't know what else they have, but they do have a barcode on the bottom, and I think that's separate from UPC because it's obviously in a box and covered. So I'm sure it doubles as its own scannable barcode. I guess in case the NFC chip inside like bursts into flames or something. So maybe that's why this has some weight to it, because like, oh, they could scan it because there is a barcode.
Well, the way they showed it in the patent, it's actually printed 4 times around the edge of the base, and it has little markers, so it can actually tell where you're rotating the amiibo.
Oh,
so
that's weird.
I don't know what good that is, but I wonder if it's for a specific game. But again, you don't need, like you said, you don't need 4 of them for that.
Yeah. Well, I guess.
And oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I guess if they're like, well, we're gonna put one in, let's just toss a bunch and do something weird with it. Like, that'd be the only reason, maybe.
Yeah, and they talked about having a little like accessory dial, which is like just the amiibo base of the markings that you can turn to manipulate. I don't know. I feel like they've got something specific in mind, but they don't want to put it in the patent. But again, they snuck some crazy little other things they could do with other accessories in there into the patent. Like they said something about putting a projector on there.
What? Really?
Yes. So, there's a whole section on, we could, according to our instructions, you could actually draw buttons on a piece of paper, lay it down in front of it, and use it as like an accessory pad. Or I guess they could come printed inside the box like a manual.
That's weird.
But then they also said, but we could have a projector projected on there. So I was going to say, when you were saying maybe if they're going with a single screen handheld, maybe that's their plan, have a little projector built in, or I don't know, maybe just a laser projector. Like, have you seen those laser keyboards?
Yeah.
So something like that. I'm not 100% sure what the plan is for this, but I agree. Having 4 of them around the edges seems really overkill. And I'm not even sure how you would project something on there if it's laying flat anyway. I was wondering if they're actually planning only having one on the front surface of the handheld and then having it have like a kickstand so you could prop it up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That would make more sense to me for the whole touchpad and for the amiibo, for everything. So,
well, the other thing is if it is flat, like if it is does have one of these bars like on all sides, where the heck do you put the SD card or the memory?
Yeah.
Like you can, there's no face slot that you can put in like an N64 cartridge or an SNES where it like sticks out halfway.
Yeah, they got to be covering their bases or something.
Yeah.
Tell you what, though, they might be planning to make a killer game of portable air hockey. Maybe that's what it is.
Laser pong.
Yeah, laser pong.
That and I kind of want them to get rid of like the rectangle, like add some curves to the back of it, like the gamepad where it has like a grip. But in this case, you wouldn't be allowed to do anything because it would have to lay flat. So I don't know. It doesn't look comfortable and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm sticking with. They actually plan to put it on almost on the front of the device and have a kickstand. Seems a lot more useful to me.
That makes sense. You wanted to talk about the new 3DS patch from a while ago?
Oh yeah. Well, that's part of they actually patented before the new 3DS came out, eye tracking 3D, and I don't know if you've ever seen that old Johnny Lee video about that.
No, I might have seen. I've seen finger tracking.
Mm-hmm. No, that's he did it way back in I think 2007, using a Wii remote and like a hat, and he was hacking it through his computer. This guy Johnny Chung Lee, you should look him up. He's really interesting, and he got hired by Microsoft, and he did some of the stuff with Kinect, but then he went to Google. Guy's smart, and he uses really low-tech components or really simple components to make really cool effects. So if you look up his Wii Remote head tracking video, Johnny Chung Lee, you'll be able to see what the patent's talking about. What they can do is if they track your eyes, and as you move left, they shift the camera perspective right, it has a really convincing 3D effect without having to have a 3D screen. So, just eye tracking 3D. There's also a Nintendo DS game called Hidden 3D Picture or something. It's got a Japanese name. Mm-hmm. You can look up a video of that, and that kind of shows how that works as well.
Yeah, I just looked up his video. Yeah, I did see this one before. It's the one with the targets, and yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah.
How does does it work like that on the new 3DS? I forget how, like, it's just head tracking there. So what's, I guess, the big difference? Or is it just the same thing?
I think the new 3DS is closer to your eyes, so instead of having to mount lights on either side of your head or whatever, what they actually have a little IR blaster. If you look at do you have a new 3DS?
No.
Oh, okay. I have one, but yeah, there's a camera, and then right next to it there's a little dot, which I think is another camera, but it's also got a little... It shoots infrared light at your face, pretty much.
Okay, that sounds great.
Yeah, it sounds really safe. I guess it is.
Just lasers at your face. Have fun.
Yeah, I can't actually see right now, but it's great.
Yeah,
no.
And they were concerned about the 3D blinding your eyes.
It reflects off your eyes, so your eyes your eyes kind of become a sensor bar. You know how like the sensor bar works? It's called the sensor bar, but it's two dinky little lights. So the light reflects off your eyes, and then the camera can see it, so it can actually track your head really accurately.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Which is neat. That's how they adjust the They didn't actually increase the angle of the, whatever, lenticular, I forget what it's called, the 3D effect. It's actually still in a really narrow range, but they can just turn it to face your eyes. So.
Yeah, that's cool. From one of the other leaks, where they said they had problems with the 3DS backwards compatibility with the portable. I'm wondering if they'll have 3D at all on their next console, because they have to process the screen twice and whatnot, right? So maybe they'll drop that, just so they can free up more memory and processor speed, so they can use it better. Because I assume, if they're gonna have to stream the game to the handheld, like, they're gonna need all they can.
Yeah, you get it's not quite the same because both your eyes are seeing one image, but every time you move your head, the whole thing shifts, and it's a pretty convincing 3D effect. But like you said, it uses half the processing power of the specialized screens that have to, render everything twice, because it's only really rendering one perspective, and then it's way cheaper because you could just use any old standard screen to do it. So, yeah. I think if they might do 3D just because they like it so much, but I think the smart thing would be to do the eye tracking 3D if they really want to continue.
Yeah. Plus, they didn't really use 3D all that much, or a point where it was like detrimental to the game that you couldn't play without it. So I don't think it would really hurt it if they turned it off or got rid of it or anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like it takes no processing power. It's just if it's a 3D game, it just shifts the camera a little bit. So it's
cool.
I don't
know. So apparently Super Mario Maker is actually doing better than we thought. In the UK charts, it ranked second. It got above Mad Max and all of the other versions of Metal Gear Solid 5 except for the PS4 version, which was in first. So
nice.
Yeah, I don't know the actual sales numbers, but it's doing pretty well. And they've also made over 1 million stages uploaded to the game already. And this was like before it was out for a week. So either everyone's uploading crappy levels quickly, or a lot of people bought the game.
It's the game of forever. You'll never stop playing.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what they do with 2D Marios from now on. Like, they have to change it drastically, or else it's like, we can do most of this in the other one except for like a few power-ups.
Yeah. My hope is the 3D world, the way they set it up, where it's like a 2D Mario, but in 3D, becomes the new 2D Mario. And then we can have our Mario 64, Mario Sunshine 3D Mario too. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, because you can, like you said, if you have Mario Maker, you can make your own 2D Marios. What do you need Nintendo for?
Yeah, really. Kaizo Mario for everyone.
Free the Mario.
That's pretty much what it is so far right now. You have to like search for normal so you don't get like these annoying levels of it's like everything's killing you at once, or I don't know, some of the levels I've seen it's just like here's every enemy on one screen and then here's a star and like kill them all, or like here's a level where we'll just give you everything, every power up. It's like that's not fun. Please go back to the drawing board. Read the art book.
Guess that's what we need Nintendo for. Someone who actually knows how to make levels.
Yeah. They just got to make it like rated M for mature so the children can't make the worst levels.
Oh, you could search games based on the age of the creator.
oh gosh. Oh man.
Please, no 5-year-old levels.
Yeah. I did want to talk about Smash, but I want to see if Mike comes back, so I'll go through some other quick things. Story of Seasons is coming out Q1 in Europe. Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, I don't really care for it. I'm not sure if you do, but they're going to have over 120 dungeons and some Meowth dungeons with special rules. So that'll be weird. Project X Zone. I'll wait for Mike for that too. Man, there's a couple of Mike things. Mike, why aren't you here? Tomorrow Corporation, the guys who made World of Goo and Little Inferno, showed off a trailer for their new game called Human Resource Machine, where you're basically just like a cog in this machine of business. So there's one conveyor belt that will deliver blocks to this little AI guy. And on the other side of the screen, you have a list of instructions you have to configure, kind of like a programming language, so that the character will follow through and then put the right blocks in the right spots. The trailer obviously does better than what I'm describing, but
weird.
Yeah, it looks really cool. 'Cause I took programming a couple of years in high school, and I kind of like that if it doesn't go too complicated. But it seems this is like a programming light kind of thing, and it's really cool. I think it's easy for a lot of people to understand.
Well, I loved World of Goo, so
yeah,
gotta give it a look.
Yeah, they're a cool team. Mike, you really should be here. Whatever. Project Cross Zone 2 is going to have a few guest star. Well, they have a lot of guest star characters, but they're actually going to have some Nintendo-focused ones now. Fiora and Cosmos from the Xenoblade and Saga series. And they're also going to have Lucina and Chrom.
Are they teamed up together? Is it like I didn't play? I played the demo for X Zone 1, but it just didn't click, so I didn't actually play X Zone 1. But I guess are they a team together?
Yeah, I forget how it works. I think one of them is playable and the other shows up beside you in battle. I'm not sure. I think they automatically pair with someone from their series. So if you're using X, like Zero will be in your side. So I guess in this case, if you use Lucina, like Chrom will be there. Or if you use Fiora, you'll have Cosmos there.
I don't know. Like I said, X Zone, I was really excited about it when they first announced it. Giant crossover game, but and I was thinking the gameplay would be something like a tactical RPG, but it was a weird mix. It was kind of like a fighting game, kind of like a rhythm game, and yeah.
I'm not really sure. I still don't understand how it works if you actually have to press button combinations when you go into your crazy attack mode, or if it just automatically does it for you. I just like pressed buttons assuming it worked. Like, okay, whatever.
Plus, it didn't help that I didn't really know half the cast. I mean, I know they're all video game characters, but a lot of them are very Japanese-centric properties that I haven't actually played, or haven't played very much.
Yeah, they have a lot of weird characters. They added the Sega mascot into the second one. Like, there's some Sega, like Kevin Butler kind of thing for Sega, apparently, called Sagata, or Sega Sagata, or something weird like that, and they added him. It's like, what the heck are they doing? They're adding, like, the most random characters.
Yeah.
Funny. So one of the other big pieces of news was they're actually going to have a Super Mario Maker stage in Smash Brothers. So it's going to cost $250 for one version, $350 another. But it looks really cool. It's going to make a different stage, or well, they claim it'll make a different stage every time you play. So the background will switch between the 4 different universes, and like it'll show a hand draw this like level before your eyes. And if you like destroy a block, it'll like fix it too. I think it looks really cool. What do you think about it?
Is the background the only thing that's changing, or is the actual the platforms?
No, like the stage platforms are changing. Like the whole layout of the stage changes, and what blocks they use, and if they have like conveyor belts. They even had lava in one section, and some of the floating platforms. So,
oh, that's crazy. That's the kind of Smash thing I love. I'm not really a competitive player. I just really like it. So, like, I love the Poke-Float stage, and that drove people crazy. So,
oh gosh.
So I can't speak for the rest of the world, but that sounds pretty cool to me. I think that'll drive competitive players crazy, though. I guess they can just avoid it.
Yeah, I don't really care about them.
No.
They can always play on Final Destination version of it, but I don't know. It looks really cool.
There's always that.
I'm kind of hoping that they use this as a way to revamp the stage creator, because like, okay, well, you clearly have the tools to make these levels, and you have it automating these levels. Can we just use the tools, please? Because like the stage creator itself, like you can't even highlight things and move them, and like the styles aren't very interesting. It's like if you just didn't even bother with adding to that and just use the Mario one, like that'd be so much more interesting.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing about oh, sorry, go on.
No, I said agreed. Concur.
But the other thing about this is they said it'll release the end of the month, September 30th, but that's eerily close to the Smash Brothers ballot, which ends October 3rd. So, and they're announcing this like 2 weeks ahead of time, so I'm thinking they'll probably talk about the Smash ballot. They might announce at the very least, I think they'll have more content than just this Mario Maker stage, because every time they do DLC, they have like something else with it. Like we get the N64 stages and the Mii Fighter costumes and things like that. So,
yeah, to be honest, I completely forgot about the Smash ballot. That's true. We need to hear the results and hear what they're going to do. You know, because Goku's totally getting in.
The funny thing about that, when people bring that up, is like Namco owns the rights to that, and Namco's making the game, so it's not like out of the realm of possibility. It's just not likely.
Yeah.
Same thing with Agumon. Like, it'd be awesome if he was in it, and they have the rights to it, but I don't think it'll happen as much as
personally, the whole, like, I was excited about Smash Bros. DLC, but I think the pricing's been pretty crazy, so like, I have a lot of it, but I hate myself for it, so it's hard to enjoy, you know? I just wish they'd...
Crazy in what way?
I just think it's a little pricey, a little high. You know, they got a couple returning characters, and that's cool, but then they've got all these I don't know if all the Mii Fighter outfits were free or something. I don't know, or if they had giant packs that were cheaper. I don't know. It just feels like they're releasing it piecemeal, and when you add it all up, it's a lot. So
the one thing I hate is that they charge a premium if you want it on both consoles, which should be like a default.
Yeah.
Especially because it's a couple bucks more in Canada than it is in the States, and then they add like the extra dollar or two thing, and then there's tax on it. It's like, well, this is like $4, $4 or $5 more than I wanted it to.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah. That's part of it too. Yeah, I forgot about that. It's like, if they're making separate content, like that's part of why I was okay with them releasing a 3DS one and a Wii U one, is because the characters were the same, but the levels were completely different. There were different game modes and everything. So it feels like they had to spend a significant amount of time making both versions. But if it's the same content on both versions, I don't understand why they wouldn't just give you one and comp the other. Unless, I guess it could be that because their online isn't really unified, that they'd have to give you two codes either way, and I guess people could be gaming the system. I don't know. I feel like they should have found some sort of workaround.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they, like you said, they actually give you two codes anyway, so it's not that they couldn't do it; it's just that they won't do it.
Oh yeah, true.
And I don't even play.
Evil.
Yeah, I don't even play the 3DS one much anymore. But it's the thought, like, if I want to play this on my handheld, I'll kill myself, because it's like it could have cost $1 more, but now you would have to pay like rebuy it for $5 again. It's like, well, that's a ripoff.
Yeah. Hopefully, if they end up like porting it to NX or something, they're not like, oh, buy all the DLC again.
Oh gosh.
Hopefully, they're better.
Then there'd be no
You
point
can
in
do better,
buying it.
Nintendo.
There'd be no point in buying it again if
Yeah,
you can
that too.
transfer it.
Except now you can control your characters by, touching the area in front of the device instead of actually touching the device.
It's the master hand mode.
Yes.
You know? Oh gosh.
Oh, yeah, Smash Bros. Tag. You scroll the little wheel to cycle through your three characters.
Oh man, that would actually be cool if they had like a tag mode where one guy dies and you swap it out for another, which they had in the other party mode they had, which was like the one redeeming quality of that people wanted in like another mode. They didn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that. You just have to buy the amiibo for the other character. That's the twist.
Yeah. So what do you? I guess we're going off a tangent, but what would you prefer the content cost?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
How would you price the content?
Oh, I don't. I'd have to think about it and then get a master's in business. Probably they're pricing it the way that makes the most sense for them. It's
Sure.
they're smart. They've looked at all how many people are going to buy it. How do we maximize their profits? Personally, I'd feel better, like I said, if they were in packs, so that let's say you had 5 characters and a stage for each, and then I don't know, that's $15. That seems on par with even because I thought Call of Duty was crazy. I was like 5 stages for 15, for however many. That's crazy, but this is even pricier than that. I guess.
Yeah, that's
if I were a real Smash player and was into all the nuances of the game, I might understand the infinite variety that each single character brings and be able to get more out of it. But just for me personally, I feel like, a certain amount of levels and a few characters together for $15 would be more exciting. It'd be more of an event when they released it as well.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. Like $15 for 5 maps or whatever in Call of Duty, like those are big 3D maps that they have to, plan out a lot more. With Smash Bros, it's like you're only working with a 2D plane, and it's only going to be like a small size. So I don't know. The characters definitely go through a rigorous process, but the stages I feel like don't really need to. So they could probably chuck in, at least if they're not going to lower the price of the characters, chuck in a character for each, or chuck in a stage for each.
For
one.
Smash, it's like the characters are more comparable to the levels in the big 3D shooters, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, five for 15 is probably, just with the amount of playtesting it takes, it's probably a little greedy. But my view of Smash is, just throw crazy characters in there and bounce it later.
Yeah.
I've never, like I said, I'm not big into the real fighting game aspect of it, so probably I'm just talking about what I don't really understand. But just to me, it seems pricey.
Yeah. I forget. What was I gonna say about it? I don't remember.
It happens.
Oh well, forget about that. Ace Attorney is getting an anime in April next year in Japan. That's really weird.
Yeah.
I guess they've already like drawn out cutscenes before, so I guess it's not too different.
I still haven't seen the live action movie, so.
Oh yeah,
that came out forever ago.
I forgot about that. I think I saved that somewhere because someone like uploaded it to YouTube or something, but I haven't watched it.
That's how we watch things, YouTube. So we can't get them.
One or two more things. Someone beat the Donkey Kong world record, and then the guy who last held the record like found out about it, and then 6 hours later he rebeat it. So that's kind of funny. It's like, you beat my level, yeah, forget that, I'm just gonna rebeat it again. It's like that's
sad.
that one guy's
sad day.
That one guy's like moment of fame didn't even last like the whole day.
6 hours.
Yeah,
you gotta feel so good about yourself, and then if you can go back and beat it again in 6 hours, you feel like he wasn't even trying in the first place.
Yeah,
it's almost worse.
It's like yeah, he's just like baiting people. He's just like, I'll just score really low, and then I can be cool again by beating it.
Jeez.
And Shantae and the Pirate's Curse is going to get a retail release in Japan. So that's weird. I don't know how many games actually make it to Japan, or westernized games at least.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I mean, I like Shantae and the Pirate Curse, but I mean, if it's small enough to be downloaded, I guess some people just can't download it or don't like to download with Nintendo's current system, but I don't see, you know what, actually, I've heard retail's pretty big in Japan, so maybe that's what the motivation is.
I never really got into the series, but the one that's going to be on Wii U looks kind of cool. With like the hand-drawn art, well, maybe it's not hand-drawn, but it looks like the hand-drawn art style. That looks cool. What?
It's just
go on.
Oh, I was just saying, it's just a fun, funky Metroidvania. So it's very, very tongue-in-cheek too. So I like the series, except for the first one. I hate the first one.
Is it just like difficult, or?
It's just super dated.
Oh.
It's like I made the mistake of playing the DS one first, and then I go back and it's really zoomed in, so you can't see very well. I don't know. I should probably give it another shot, but I was not enjoying that first level. So,
I guess one last thing. If they do show off a new character, or I guess what would be your ideal Smash character?
Inkling, definitely.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I'm wondering if they'll strike while the iron's hot and release them, or they'll save it for the next one because it is like a Nintendo property and they want to, I guess, hold on to them.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're planning on doing it now. They can always include it in the next one too.
Yeah, I'm thinking they might do some third parties more so, because if they release like too many Nintendo IP characters, like big ones, it's like, what are they going to use for the next one? Like, do they bring them back, or do they cut them or add on top? It's because they only have as much as people show like, oh, look at this crazy roster we could have, there's only so many good characters worth putting in.
True.
So I guess they gotta be careful with how many they use up.
Yeah. They can just, the nice thing is if they have a bunch of crazy characters now, when they go to the next one, they could say, oh, we could only feasibly make 35, 40 some characters, and then they get to, do that retro DLC all over again. So
yeah. Well, my thought is that if they do third-party characters, then they're not obligated to make them return. Where it's like, oh yeah, that's just a DLC one-time thing, blah blah blah. So you still like get it, but they don't have to try to include it again.
Like Goku's in, guys.
Yeah, I'd like to see Vaati. I think he'd be a cool character with like magic powers and wind powers and whatnot.
Say again. What was the name?
Skip. Vaati. Or
Vaati. Oh yeah.
Yeah, from Link to the Past.
Yeah.
Or was it Link to the Past or Minish Cap? I forget one
Correct
of
me
the
if I'm
top
wrong,
10
but I
ones.
think he shows up in a couple, right?
Yeah, Four Swords Adventures. I
Yeah.
think Four Swords, and I know Minish Cap. I don't remember
Yeah.
if it's Link to the Past. No, I don't think it is. Whatever. I think he'd be a cool character.
Yeah.
That or Agumon or Greymon.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that about wraps it up for today. So I don't know where. I guess Mike just like left and died or something.
Yeah.
But
His phone.
at least he was here for.
Alas, Mike's phone.
Yeah. At least he was here for a little bit. Thanks. I was gonna call you Zane. Jeez. Thanks, Zach, for coming.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was
It's
fun.
fun.
Yeah, no, I like reading your. I've always read your like future Nintendo platform blog, so it's cool to have you on and talk about that kind of stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Mike's gone, but I'll just, I guess, tell you where you can find me. You can find me at the Mango Viking on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And where can everyone find you, Zach?
Nowhere. No, I just
Leave
got
me
my
alone.
IGN profile, ZaneTheWise at IGN.com. That's all I'm doing right now. So that's the only place I think I have a Twitter. I haven't checked it in so long that I don't know. So yeah, I just have the blog that I update very infrequently. So that's
Cool.
it.
Cool. So wherever you're listening, people, you can find us at Just Another Castle on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, iTunes, and Podomatic and IGN. You can drop us a question if you want to be a guest, or just submit us a question to read on the podcast. And if you also want to be a guest, you could message me on Twitter at the Mango Viking. So see you later, and leave gaming to Nintendo.